much to think. This person wants me to say their name so badly. I'm going to keep scrolling. But, oh my God, is she chatty in these threads? Why don't she hit me up? You have my number. You blocked me. You blocked me. Quit defaming me out there with all your nonsense. You know my number. Hit me up if you want the truth. But some of these people, they don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. They want to bicker. They want to cause divide. They want to be contrarians. This is where it's scary, guys. So look, I'm begging you, pay attention out there.
Hi beautiful people, hope you all are doing well. It's been a minute since I've actually made a video about Without a Crystal Ball. For the most part, she has been staying in her lane. And that seemed to have been too good to be true, because as of maybe 4 days ago, she has been back to her dirty ways. And I mean her going after other creators and also recruiting her flying monkeys to do the dirty work on her behalf. This is not the first time she has gone after these two creators I'm about to discuss. Let's talk about her most recent target, a creator that goes by Ashley Brianna Eve here on YouTube. Now bear this in mind, this is not the first time that Without a Crystal Ball has attacked Ashley. I will have linked in the description box a video that I did go over where Without a Crystal Ball actually attacked Ashley the first time around, and you will be amazed at why Without a Crystal Ball actually attacked Ashley, and also the lies she tells on this creator. Ashley made this post on X yesterday, and she states, "For anyone ending up in my DM saying Without a Crystal Ball is the one that broke news about Melissa and Jed being shady, I did. Then she smeared the fuck out of me. I'm done playing nice over some people. My playlist from 3 months ago." First of all, you see, this is not new for Without a Crystal Ball when it comes to a story being broken. It seems as though only she can break the story. Maybe those flying monkeys that went to attack Ashley should ask their boss what happened to the last few times their queen Without a Crystal Ball broke a story. I'll give you guys a bit of a hint. She got sued and is actually in an active litigation right now with one of those lawsuits. Secondly, to you dumb fucks that are taking up for Without a Crystal Ball and attacking these creators, why? Have you guys not done your due diligence on exactly who Without a Crystal Ball is and everything she stands for and is about? Maybe start there and do yourself a favor before you get your feelings hurt. But her going after such a small creator like Ashley seems weird, because Without a Crystal Ball herself was the one crying, literally crying, when she was sued by a bigger creator. And she was the one to say how unfair it was that a bigger creator like Tati Westbrook was going after her, who has such a smaller channel than Tati. And Tati had every right going after her, irrelevant of the size of her channel, because Without a Crystal Ball was defaming and trying to ruin Tati and her husband's reputation. And well, as we know now, Without a Crystal Ball ended up settling, meaning Without a Crystal Ball gave up her source. So why would a creator with 447,000 subs go after a smaller channel with only 17,000 subs? Jealousy, insecurity, shame, because Without a Crystal Ball couldn't seem to have done what a channel with only 17,000 subs did, by actually getting it right and breaking the story. The next person we're going to talk about is actually not new to Without a Crystal Ball's hit list. It's none other than Andy Signor. He has a YouTube channel named Popcorn Planet. And again, I also did a video about her coming after him. I will have that list in the description box. And this time around is no different. She is recycling falsehoods that she put out there, twisting the situation to suit herself. And let me show you. These are the posts she made. She puts up an article that was written in 2022, and she says, here's an article on NBC about Andy Signor and the accusations. The issue is that he focuses on one woman and her claims, yet there have been multiple women, accusations of sending inappropriate videos and using his platform to prey on fans. He has denied this. But this article has interviews with former employees and women who have accused him. His connection to Baldoni and Nathan is the kind of story that Blake Lively will pounce on to further paint Baldoni and Wayfarer as sex pests by communicating with Andy for months. Off the bat, let me say, this issue that Andy Signore went through started in 2015-2017. And yes, it was a messy situation. But if you go over and watch the video that Andy Signore made addressing this situation, showing receipts, and it's not what Without a Crystal Ball is trying to put out there. You guys decide for yourself if what Without a Crystal Ball is saying is absolutely on par or absolutely wrong and misleading to people. I highly encourage you to go and watch this video and make up your mind. I will have it listed in the description box. And secondly, she seems to have an issue with Andy Signore having communication with Melissa Nathan. Yet, when she had communication with the journalist from the Daily Mail who was fired, and when all the shit came out, she was the first one to throw him under the bus so she could clear herself from having communication with him. Make it make sense. Andy Signore has to hand over all his communication with Melissa Nathan, who he spoke to for 6 months, from January to June 2025. He does not qualify for journalistic privilege because under Florida law, he does not qualify. And she also includes Andy Signore covered the Depp versus Heard case and even met Johnny after the trial was over. Depp is repped by Melissa Nathan, but his inclusion in the case isn't good for Jocelyn Baldoni and will fuel Blake Lively supporters of a conspiracy to take her down. A few months back, Without a Crystal Ball was in the same position as Andy is in. She was subpoenaed by Blake Lively's team. Without a Crystal Ball was crying wolf, and she was saying how Blake Lively is coming after a mum with a disabled child. Once again, used a disabled child to pull at the heartstrings of people. As I mentioned before, Without a Crystal Ball is involved in an active defamation lawsuit. She herself claimed journalistic privilege, and the judge over that case said she could plausibly, keyword plausibly, qualify for journalistic privilege. Unfortunately, the case was taken over by another judge, and unfortunately, she was not granted journalistic privilege because the court did not make a decision, and she herself was ordered to hand over sources, which you can see from the screenshot. She did. So why does she feel the need to point out how Andy does not qualify for journalistic privilege when she herself is not in a better position or situation? And also, people who live in glass houses should never throw stones. And also, sweep your own doorstep before you sweep others. Without a Crystal Ball. She also posted, I have tried to raise concerns about Andy's history in the past, only to he accused of targeting another creator and or of defaming him because I shared articles like the NBC article. Andy made a video when he returned to YouTube. He acknowledged having sex with a teen fan who was over 18. The video was supposed to exonerate him, but it honestly doesn't make him look any better. He owned a massive platform, met fans at events. He denied there was any sexual abuse that occurred. He was married at the time. I only wanted to share because during the Depp case, moderators and viewers of his channel came forward with similar allegations, and some allegedly received unsolicited nude videos of him pleasuring himself. I don't want any of my viewers potentially harmed in any way. Not wanting to associate with Andy made me an outcast in the creator community covering this case, but as a victim of rape and an advocate for victims of sexual violence, I stuck to my principles and I don't regret it. I truly hope Melissa Nathan's connection to Baldoni doesn't harm his case. All that is bullshit. Without a Crystal Ball does not give a fuck about her viewers. Without a Crystal Ball, aka Katie Joy, it's all about Katie Joy. Nobody else but Katie Joy. Again, I have the link to the video Andy did make. Go and check it out for yourself. Make up your own mind. And it is wild that she would have the nerve to talk all this bullshit about someone else. Let's look at Without a Crystal Ball's own actions and the way she claims to have principles. Which principles? Because she does not have any morals, values, honesty, or integrity, in my opinion. She will do whatever it takes for her to get to the top, no matter who she has to destroy along the way. Without a Crystal Ball falsely accused a man of sexual harassment. She claims to be a victim of RAPE, which in my humble opinion is a lie after hearing things that were read from her report. And it seems she has a pattern of falsely accusing men of the worst things when she does not get things done her way. Another example, another YouTube creator, Preacher Boy. I will have his video linked in the description box too. She also accused him of being abusive to his wife, his daughter, and his sister, which was completely fabricated on her part because he did not do what she wanted him to do at a specific time. Again, to all her flying monkeys, do your due diligence. She claims that she advocates for victims of sexual violence. Is her way of advocating for them sitting on an Instagram live and demonstrating how a child is digitally penetrated? Or how about when she platformed a sexual offender just so she could get the dirt on the Duggars? And that is just scratching the surface. You guys can pause and read these posts because Without a Crystal Ball was going after Andy for days. These are posts from the Reddit, but it is her continuing to try and discredit Andy, talking about how he knows and worked with Ryan Reynolds. I'm not sure if she's alluding to Andy being in contact with Ryan and trying to sabotage Justin Baldoni's case. But realistically, Andy was in the movie business. He knows people, and that probably eats at her. And also, the fact that he is working on a documentary. She accuses Andy of gaslighting people. The nerve. I don't think she acknowledges herself what she says, and she further spreads the false information about Andy on this Reddit. But this is what made me have a good laugh. She says, and I quote, "I've spent years advocating and donating to women who flee polygamy. I don't want to be tied up to anyone that harmed a woman in any capacity. I hope that Justin and his team recognize this error on their end and don't associate. I highly doubt Justin would want to be affiliated with Andy on the optics alone." End quote. Now, two things. If Justin Baldoni's team knows how many times Without a Crystal Ball has been sued for defamation, I don't think they would want to be associated with her. Number two, she continues to say how she advocates for women fleeing polygamy and sexual abuse victims and all that kind of stuff. Why has nobody come forward and said what a great advocate Without a Crystal Ball is, or how she has helped them? Yet, we always see how she's getting sued for defamation. That's wild. Can you imagine how Without a Crystal Ball gaslit whoever she was speaking to on Justin Baldoni's side? I personally do still think it was his parents. She must have love bombed them and made them think that she has Justin's best interest at heart. The only person's best interest Without a Crystal Ball has at heart is her own. Nobody else's but her own and her bank account. And the reason why Without a Crystal Ball came after Ashley again is that she has a debt to settle with Ashley. And if you go watch that video that I made about the first time she attacked Ashley, you'll understand exactly why she has this grudge for Ashley. And don't be fooled and believe Without a Crystal Ball when she says that she was never welcomed in this community, because when she squirmed away in this community, she thought she could end up being the head bitch in charge. But people saw right through her and she couldn't do anything. And then she started attacking other content creators in this community. And to date, she has attacked over these content creators in this community that cover this case. She is a loner. and it's all her own doings. Let me leave you with this. Without a Crystal Ball's own words, and this is especially for Without a Crystal Ball's flying monkeys who attacked Ashley. And it says, just a reminder, reporting on the same topic doesn't make people friends. I've actually noticed a ton of people claiming to be experts who are nothing but cons. Be careful who you consume. Without a Crystal Ball is the biggest con. So listen to her and be very careful. And I would say, do your due diligence. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I appreciate each and every one of you. As I said, all those videos will be linked down in my description box. Don't just believe everything Without a Crystal Ball says. She has a habit of misleading people, fabricating stuff, and that's why she always finds herself in these lawsuits. Once again, thank you so much. Have a wonderful upcoming week. Please be safe out there, be kind to one another, and don't forget to make good memories. Bye, guys.